What's up, guys? Renasant here. Welcome back to the channel. We are in Anne Orlando visiting our awesome giant friend. You'll see we're using a interesting weapon with some interesting armors. So got the Eastern Helm with the Armor of the Glorious, the Gauntlets of Favor, and Stone Leggings. Using a broken straight sword plus 10. Very strange. You may be wondering why I'm using that, and I will show you. So, if you recall in an earlier episode, I talked about how we could make boss weapons with the Anne Orlando Giant. So, one of the boss weapons that we can make actually requires a plus 10 broken straight sword or a plus 10 broken straight sword hilt. Straight sword hilt. So let's just see what we can do here. There it is, right there. So you'll see the great sword of Artorias requires the soul of Sith, right? You may notice there's actually two great swords of Artorias, right? You see this one with regular damage and magic damage, and then you see this one with just regular physical damage. Those are different. Let's see if we can let us read it. No, I guess not. But we want the real Greatsword of Artorias, and the one that does the magic infused damage is by far the real one. You'll notice we could also use just any plus 10 Greatsword would make the normal Greatsword of Artorias, but that's not what we want to do. And we'll probably make Quelog's Fury Sword at some point. We'll probably make Dragon Slayer Spear. There's a couple things we'll probably make, honestly. But for now, we want to make this. And then we want to upgrade it for sure. And it requires Demon Titanite here, so we're going to upgrade it as much as we can. We need one more. Actually gonna upgrade this as well. So we need one more. So luckily I actually know where one is, but you can see now we're wielding it. Look at that badass sword, man. This thing is a monstrosity. 556. You'll also notice I was farming for Titanite chunks, and I meant to put the golden serpent ring on, and I accidentally put the FAP ring on, so now we can never take it off, unfortunately. Alright, so I do know where we can get another Titanite slab. Not Titanite slab. Demon Titanite, luckily. I think, if you recall right, I think we left one down here. Not 100% sure, but come on. 327. Whew. You also see we have 19 humanities. Again, that is was in order to farm some Titanite chunks. So slow here because I'm not wearing the rusted iron ring. Well, I actually left a two Titanite demons down here, apparently. Ow. Ow. Whew. Boing. There we go. So that's all we needed there. Now we just want to go back to the Chamber of the Princess bonfire. Is probably the quickest route to take here. Whee! Almost kills us jumping off of there, man. So I do think the next place we're going to go is going to be the Catacombs. And the reason we're doing all this specifically is for the Catacombs. So I'll explain it a little bit more when we get there. But effectively, there are some skeletons, well, some, like 80% of the the enemies in the Catacombs are skeletons, and these skeletons are infinitely respawning, kind of. They are controlled by necromancers, and until you kill the necromancer, the skeletons will just keep respawning. So I mean, like, immediately after you kill them, basically, they will just keep respawning. Let's actually too probably reinforce some of this armor we're wearing here. Got some twinkling titanite. Where's our armor of the glorious? I just I upgrade random stuff as I go, honestly. I don't even keep track of it. Alright, so no armor of the glorious, so I guess we can't do anything with that. Is there anything else we want to upgrade while we're here? Jagged Ghost Blade, maybe. S-Stock, definitely. Alright. So that's going to be it for right now. So now we're going to head to the Catacombs. So Catacombs are fairly easy to get to, but kind of easy to miss as well. We've been near them before, actually. The very first episode of this playthrough, we went right by them, actually. Oh, but where lost my train of thought. So what I was getting at earlier, as far as killing these skeletons, these infinitely spawning skeletons, the only way to get them to, well, so there's two ways. There's two main ways to get them to quit spawning effectively. One is to kill the necromancer that is controlling them. And you see those white eyes in there. When they spawn, they have these white eyes. That means a necromancer is alive that is controlling them. You see how they're not respawning though. The other way to get them to not infinitely respawn is to use a divine weapon. So that divine weapon, yeah, you see the white in their eyes there. A divine weapon essentially is just a weapon you upgrade with Andre into the divine path, I guess you could say. But also there are 5 additional, I believe, divine weapons in the game. The Crescent Axe, I believe, is one of them. A certain hammer that we'll get later. A Storis straight sword, and there's another one that I can't think of right off the top of my head. And then also this version of the Great Sword of Artorias. So all of 5 of those weapons have a divine modifier about them, so they can all kill skeletons permanently, which makes the Catacombs just infinitely easier. So you'd say all these skeletons will respawn. And we're about to come across our first necromancer. So that, if we didn't have a divine weapon, all these skeletons would continue respawning until we killed this necromancer that's just ahead. It's interesting, this is clearly a door here, but it's also a dead end. And here is our first necromancer. So you see they hold the skull lantern there. And then when we push this, it will open that door in the other room. Go ahead and light and kindle our bonfire. Because why not? And then we're also going to tune magic. And we want, where are we here? Cast light. Probably fall control as well. And so the reason I'm doing that is just for visual sake. Be a little bit brighter, easier to watch here. So because we killed that necromancer, if we weren't using a divine weapon, these guys would be dead permanently. Alright, so into the catacombs. This area is very interesting. You have this big central area here where there's clearly an abundance of light. I see you, friend. But you also have the deeper areas of the catacombs, which we'll definitely get into, but like the very far pit down there, and then all these little side corridors as well. But this area, a lot of people don't like this area just because they find it really like poorly lit, kind of hard to navigate through. I will admit it is a little bit challenging to navigate through, but I hate this guy. Now he's got white eyes, so that won't kill him. We did not kill him with a divine weapon, right? We killed him with a bow. But yeah, this area, I don't know. To me, it's just the way it's structured is really unique. it is easy to get lost in. I get lost in the catacombs all the freaking time. You can actually, believe it or not, and I'll probably show you guys, but you can actually skip the entire catacombs. Like, pretty much the entire catacombs. Ah, Lucerne. One of my favorite weapons right here. I love this thing. A halberd with a large, hard, beak-like protrusion inflicts thrust damage. Instead of thrusting like a spear, the wielder of the Lucerne aims to club the head with its hard beak. Oh, I love that. Village body. I will agree with everybody that the skeletons are annoying as hell in the catacombs, but like just the sound, the waterfall, you can hear it. It kind of guides you, like the noise guides you. It's like, what were you guarding over here, you know? There we go. I was trying to find one to show you guys. Yeah, some of these statues are nasty. Very interesting. So you'll notice this is the ledge that the archer was on earlier, and there he is. Of course, we did not kill him with a divine weapon, so that was where we fought that second necromancer right there, or shot him with our arrows. Alright, so you get right here, and you can see the necromancer over there. Let's see if we can actually roast him. Yeah, we definitely can. So once he's dead, you can actually kill these skeletons. Try though they may to cross this bridge, they will not be successful. Stop blocking. Punk. Yeah, so you see all the spikes here. There's a switch right there directly in front of us that will actually, oh, poor guy, flip this bridge. Another interesting thing, I need to equip my binoculars again because this is just so cool, and this is another reason why I love this area, and another reason why I love Dark Souls in general, specifically this one, the first one. You can actually see an NPC just hanging out over there. We'll talk some more about that NPC once we meet him. As I say, watch out for these guys. These are spikes. We've encountered these things before in New Londo. So you can actually, and I'm not going to do it right now, but you can skip all the catacombs like right now, basically, simply by jumping down. There's a ledge down there that you can jump on, but we're not going to do that just yet. I'll show you an easier way to do that here in a little bit. Mainly, we just want to get to this bridge, and as you see, it just flipped that spiky bridge. So again, we can see this NPC over here hanging out by the waterfall. And interestingly enough, you can see the light over there on that side. You can actually see a bonfire right here. So a bonfire that's not lit, mind you. So we haven't gotten, or we need to get there, basically. Love the waterfall, man. The waterfall's so cool. This area. And it seems linear, but it really isn't. There's a lot of different paths you can go pretty soon. And so again, from right here, you have a couple of decisions. You can just simply jump off there and be on a different level. But we're just going to proceed the normal way here because we want to go. And you'll notice these little, yeah, these little graves here. We got one of them, but we want all of them. Little crystal lizards think they're slick. Wow, he got away. I can't believe it. Let's try this again, shall we? Gotcha. Yeah, this place is Spike City, baby. A little sneaky ladder here. And you may notice this drops us right back down here again. So like I said, seems linear, isn't really. A lot of interconnectivity. Are y'all back already? So you can see this is where we drop down right here. I don't believe this one, yeah, this one doesn't drop. Just that left side there. Alright, so you want to be careful entering this little area right here. There's a lot of skeletons that kind of spawn up here. And you can actually die if you drop all the way down there. So, watch out for this trap here. Skeleton City, baby. Come on. I mean, they really are persistent. I'll give them that. Gotta be faster than that. Continue down the path here. Loser. Alright, so here you'll notice it kind of looks like a dead end right there, but it's actually not. So, got another switch here. And you'll notice that actually opened a whole nother spot up here for us. Yeah. Right here. And this is so tricky, man. This is From Software in a nutshell. So you're just over here, you're like, oh, I got... First of all, you might just completely miss this path to your left, right? The way the camera works. Like, you would never know, really. And second of all, you might just, oh yeah, walk right out here and plummet to your death. Very tricky From Software, but I love it. And so you can tell, I mean, these really are like legit catacombs, right? Excuse me. Yeah, that was this bridge that just flipped here. And we'll see how it flipped in just a second. Oh, hello there.
Good day. You look reasonably sane. What are you doing in the catacombs? Are you a cleric or something?
So, I would recommend answering no to this.
Well, that's strange. Oh, I know what it is. You've come for the trinkets, haven't you? Well, whatever it is, this place is treacherous. Do you watch your step? Oh, well, this...
Alright. So we'll learn a little bit more about him in just a second. Ow. So, yes. If you, I mean, you could figure this out because when we saw patches earlier from that side, I showed y'all that bonfire. You can see that hidden bonfire in there, so you could just use like geography to tell you that this would be how to get to it. A lot of people probably missed this bonfire in the catacombs. I'm gonna use the black iron great shield just because. Alright, so Patches. Good on him. Let's just mosey along here. Gotta get those trinkets, don't we? Uh-oh. Well, would you look at that? That bridge just turned on itself, didn't it? There, huh? Wonder if Patches knows anything about that. What do y'all think? I tried to roll through that. Patches, why is this switch out here?
Oh, well, how are you then? I slipped and put that thing is. It didn't cause you any trouble by chance.
Yeah, it kind of did.
Are you certain? Well, that's a fine shame. I'm truly sorry. Really? But wait now. You didn't actually fall down there. Well, why didn't you tell me sooner? All's well that ends well. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm not above it all, I swear. I am Trusty Patches, the one and only. I know. This should make up for it.
Trusty Patches.
We're on the same side. Undead outcasts. Fantastic, isn't it?
Good old Trusty Patches.
We're on the same side. Undead
Excuse me.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Alright, so Patches, kind of a dick. We'll meet him again, though. For now, before we proceed forward here, just want to show y'all something. So that is obviously the way forward there. However, there's one more thing we want to do before we proceed forward. That is to go meet an NPC named Vamos. Now, Vamos is kind of tricky to get to, and he's kind of hidden. We're going to come all the way down here. And you can see an item there. It looks like you're falling into the abyss if we go down here. However, if you just simply walk off, aka don't roll, don't jump, don't do any of that, just walk off, you can drop down here. To a cutscene.
Be gone with you. You'll spoil my focus.
Oh, hello. Ah, Vamos and his infamous robotic voice. So one thing, do not rest at this bonfire, especially, and I mean especially, if you've came down here without the Lord Vessel. If you've come down here at the beginning of the game and you don't have that Lord Vessel and you rest at this bonfire, it's not fun getting back up, okay? And we're not even going to explore through there, but we do want to talk to Vamos. I'm sorry in advance for his voice audio.
Why, you have an ember, do you? Ah, forget about it. I don't deal with that kind. What has gone wrong with embers these days?
So he's talking about the ember that we have.
I'm here to smith, not to chit-chat. I've told you, I'm here for the trade, not for the talk. Enough with your presence. It disturbs me. Well, you are a persistent one, are you not? But I'm afraid I'm a mere blacksmith.
So yeah, so the first one was a dialogue error. The ember from Nulando was the very large ember, which we gave to Andre. Vamos actually accepts fire type embers. You can see you can turn a weapon into fire and later into chaos, but that is just a dialogue glitch. Again, we're not going to go through there just yet. So I just wanted to come down here to go ahead and open that shortcut up because it is effective. Alright. Boing! Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Forgot to kindle. And reverse hollowing. We want to do both of those things. So now we can proceed forward here. Too slow. Hopefully, our dear old comrade won't flip the switch again on us. So as you can see, the catacombs are really not that bad. I mean, we still got a couple more areas. Oh yeah, that's super hidden there. We still got a couple more areas in the catacombs to do, but I think it's pretty clear that it's not really that bad. Coming up here, the world's worst ambush, and a very important item here. The Dark Moon Seance Ring. Very important item. This ring is granted to adherents of Gwendolyn, Dark Moon deity and lastborn of Gwen, Lord of Sunlight. Grants additional magic attunement slots. The Dark Sun Gwendolyn is the only remaining deity in Anne Orlando. His followers are few, but their tasks are of vital importance. He's the only remaining deity in Anne Orlando, huh? And indeed, the Ring of the Sun Princess says, the Princess of Sunlight Guinevere left Anne Orlando along with many other deities and later became wife to Flam God Flan. Well, that's very interesting because didn't we meet Guinevere in Anne Orlando? Was she not the one who gave us the Lord Vessel? It's interesting because it's contradictory, right? The game is making you question itself, which I've always just found super, super interesting. Like, the game is literally making us second guess ourselves and wonder who exactly is being honest here, or what, you know. It's making us wonder, like, what's going on. Like, so these items, which we have to take at face value, of course, but you assume the game's not lying in its item descriptions. The items say one thing, but our reality says another thing, right? Tranquil Walk of Peace miracle. Outland Miracle, foreign to the Way of White, slows all walking within an effect area. This miracle is normally used to flee, as it slows walking but does not affect attacks, but nevertheless defines peace perfectly. Drop down this hole here. You may recognize where we dropped down at. So that's the thing, man. This whole area, like I said, it seems like it's not as interconnected as other areas, but in reality, it's more connected. There's a lot of verticality to it as well, which I've always found really interesting. But yeah, again, it's just really cool to me, the whole fact about the items saying that Guinevere has left Anor Londo, and at the same time you have another item saying Gwendolyn is the only god in Anor Londo left. So there's two statements right there, when in fact we have met Guinevere in Anor Londo ourselves. Alright, so now we can go this way into Skeleton City here. And again, you can actually see a summon sign down there, right? Look at that. You can actually see it down there. It's another way to skip this whole area here. But we don't want to skip it. We want to do it. A lot of sarcophagi here. Oh, hello. Hello, friend. Try again next year. Plus 10 Black Iron Great Shield. More Demon Titanite for us. Ooh, and we got the lucky Titanite catch pole drop. Oh, that's so lucky. It is a very rare item. It does drop from them, but just not very often. Weapon of the Titanite Demon, a faceless stone monster born from Titanite slabs. One of the enchanted weapons, perhaps from residual power of the Titanite slab, known for its leaping attack, which comes smashing down on foes from above. Super excited we got that, by the way. And we picked up some Eyes of Death. Very interesting items. They're only for online play Covenant items. The dreadful Eyes of Death spread disaster across neighboring worlds. Phantoms lured to the host world may end up as victims, allowing the Eyes of Death to multiply and leading to further proliferation of Bane. So, you're walking along these sarcophagi. You notice a lot of them are either closed or cracked. Except for this one. Nestle in coffin, eh? Yeah, get all cozy there. So, this is pretty interesting. It's a very unique, I don't want to say mechanic, but a very unique thing about this game is we are actually getting the opportunity to not only see, but actually interact with a boss before the actual boss fight. So in case y'all didn't know already, obviously where we're heading is the lair of the Grave Lord Nito. I mean, we were basically told that by multiple things, including Frampt, I believe, who specified that Nito lives in the Catacombs. Well, we are actually about to meet Gravelord Nito, and we're nowhere close to actually fighting him. And this is just something I've always found really unique about the game. Tomb of the Giants. So, interestingly enough, this is actually the boss room, right? This is the boss room, and there is Nito himself. Gravelord Nito. Pray to the sarcophagus Gravelord. So we joined his covenant, and he gave us a Gravelord sword and the Miracle Gravelord sword dance. We can't offer him Eyes of Death. I only have 3, but might as well give them to him. Sword wielded only by servants of Gravelord Nito, the first of the dead. Crafted from the bones of the fallen, the miasma of death exudes from the sword, a veritable toxin to any living being. Miasma of death indeed. I mean, he's literally like dozens of skeletons piled on top of nothing. And then he also gave us the Gravelord sword dance. Where are you? There it is. Which is, strangely enough, a miracle. Only by the servants of the first dead, Gravelord Nito. Giant Gravelord swords jut out in vicinity. Nito sleeps deep within the tomb of the giants, quietly overseeing all death and waiting for his servants to usher in the Eye of Death. It's just so cool, man, that we can come down here and deal with Nito. We'll talk a little bit more about Nito once we actually make it into the Tomb of the Giants. I know we're in it right now, but technically we're not. And that's probably going to do it for this episode, guys. We'll probably trek forward in the next episode. And you can see the sarcophagus just shoots us back to where we needed to be. I love how it's like a first-person point of view right there. It's really unique. Alright, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. We're going to continue the Catacombs in the next episode and probably do a decent amount of the Tomb of the Giants. So, of course, as always, if you liked the episode, if you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like and comment, and please subscribe to the channel, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.